All right, let's close this show out with our final story. This one comes from Vice. COVID-19 lockdowns have led to a huge spike in sex doll sales, Zach. Some sex doll companies have doubled sales since coronavirus lockdowns came into effect, with many dolls going to married couples. We've got a nice picture here. It's not, there's no nudity here, but maybe we should throw up a couple of these pictures of what these things look like. And here we go. It says, in many ways, the advent of the global pandemic has been a stroke of luck for the sex doll industry. With most of the world under strict government instruction to self-isolate in the privacy of one's own home, consumer interest in hyper-realistic silicone-based sexual partners is at an all-time high. And it's not just lonely singles who are contributing to the boom in business. Zach, it's not said here in the article, but whether or not you have to wear a face mask when you're with the sex doll, if the sex doll comes with a face mask, and what proper etiquette is.
Well, I would hope it does come with a face mask, Dave.
the face mask, Saint mask or God mask, or
yeah.
See, maybe. All right, let's go back a sec. So maybe instead of Jesus in a toast, you'll get like the face mask in a toast, and that's will be in 20 years. So, anyways,
this whole article is low level BS. Like, you know, I mean, what you do in your own bedroom is none of my business, but I do have some questions because there's so much shit in this article that is just crazy. Like, you kind of mentioned it before, but there was that one quote that was like, in this new trend, we've got a husband buying a female doll alongside his wife for him, a husband and wife buying dolls together, one for each other, and also a general increase in women buying male dolls for themselves.
See, I'm not buying this.
So, like, at what point, like, where do you draw the line for, like, cheating on your spouse? You know what I mean? Just because it has a pulse doesn't automatically be cheating, because some of these things look really, really realistic. And, like, there was another point in the article that was, like, it said something about custom-made heads are becoming big. So, like, hey, honey, I don't want you. I want to go bang my custom-made woman. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you have a crush on another woman, you can literally put her head on, like, a body that you want to, like, you know, fuck.
Yeah,
and it's like, what's next? Are like sex androids and like pleasure robots like going to be a thing in the future?
Right? Yeah, I think that's where we're headed, actually. And in fact, if you ever saw the movie, I'm sorry, Steven Spielberg, AI, artificial intelligence, I believe it was the Jude Law character who was essentially a robot gigolo.
Yeah.
So I do think we're headed there. And, you know, not only head, Zach, there's some requests for a doll without any genitals, a doll without a doll with a tail, and one of my personal favorites, a doll with 3 breasts.
I mean, the 3 breasts makes more sense than a doll without genitals. Like, what's the even point of having a doll without genitals? Yeah, what's the point of that, right? That's the whole reason you're buying it, so you can have sex with it.
No, I just don't really buy this article. First of all, I don't think married couples are buying these dolls. There might be a couple, but this isn't. This sort of the article. This reads more like an advertisement, than reporting.
Yeah, the whole thing does.
And I feel like this is an example of just throwing bullshit at us that we're led to believe something's happening, something led to believe that there's some real trend going on, where in fact it's just mostly just deviance. Maybe
exactly. How much of a cut did Vice get for saying to go buy a fuck doll? And no, there was one quote in the article. Let me see if I can find it. It says, online sex store Southern Treasures says, we believe that those who are single or live by themselves want a human-like construct to just be near in these times. Despite skepticism, we've found from talking directly to our own customers that our dolls do actually provide emotional comfort as well as sexual expression. So,
God help us all.
Like, it's a nice sentiment, but like, I think maybe are we like getting into a culture now where it's like going to be okay for people to be content with forming a relationship with like inanimate objects? Like, that used to be considered like, you know, odd behavior, right? You shouldn't have a relationship with odd sentiment. That would be something that would be on like My Strange Addiction. I don't know if you remember that show where it's there was an episode of that show actually where there was a guy addicted that was in love and had relationships with inflatable pool toys. You know what I mean? Like, he had an inflatable, like, floaty dragon that he was, like, kissing.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah. You know what I mean? All kind of shit like that. Like maybe, like, as a society, we need to focus less on making, like, hyper-realistic, fuckable objects. And, like, start focusing on, like, fixing a society that focuses so much on like materialism and like solely basing their relationship on sex appeal and things like that. You know what I mean?
I do 100%. Fantastic point. And,
right. It's getting weird. Like, are we like so afraid of finding true love that we'd rather spend like thousands of dollars on a fucking sex toy? You know what I mean? It's getting crazy, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just COVID, right? It's something that's more sick.
I mean, did you ever see the movie Her?
Yeah.
Right. I understand that more than I understand having a fuckable sex doll.
Yeah, because that's something that's very smart, and it's a mental connection.
Yeah, it felt like you were actually talking to a real person,
right?
Not just like
some inanimate piece of silicone.
Yeah, that you're just like, oh hey, how you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Do you sit down, have dinner with it, and then treat it nice before you take it to the bedroom? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you need to go do. Yeah, you're gonna sit down and watch TV show with it, sitting on the couch. Oh,
do the classic move where you're like, put your arm around. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, do you talk to it? I mean, you need. So not only do we need to figure out something for gyms, I think we need to find a way to fund mental hospitals so we can put these people where they belong. Unbelievable! This was a great fight. I'm glad. I had totally. I'm glad you found this one, Zach. This is a great one. It reminds me, actually, in the sidebar here, there's a story I think we covered before, which is a South Korean soccer team because they did the whole things without fans in the stands, where they packed the stands with sex dolls. Remember this?
I think so.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of humor there. So I think, I don't know, maybe there is a role for them in society, at least maybe as fans, not with couples and as a legit companion. It's very, very, very weird. I don't see the appeal. I don't get it. And I don't think they're cheap either. I think they're like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they're expensive. I mean, maybe could you just get like waist down? Maybe that would be cheaper. Like, who knows?